This is Hino's Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. See, this is the stuff that we're talking about, man. When we sit here and we say, you know what I'm saying, the truth of the fact of the matter is there's reverse bias, aka detractors, aka panderers in the sport of boxing. These are the fans that are what's wrong with the sport. So, hold up. I can't respect Daniel Dubois. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that Daniel Dubois has been keeping a consistent energy. Because I'm an American, so I'm only supposed to root for Deontay Wilder and Ife Ajagba. That doesn't make any sense to me. See, this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Just because I'm not from the UK, that does not mean that I don't recognize fighters that are doing what they're supposed to from that area. Daniel Dubois is a young guy. He's a young cat. You know what I'm saying? He's young, dumb, and full of cum. Let me say it again. He's young, dumb, and full of cum. When you're usually that age, you're stupid. You don't know better. You still got to go through some shit in life. I could tell you a thing or two about that because tomorrow I'm going to be 38 years old. So, been there and done that. You know what I'm saying? I probably lived like 3 times my age, dog. You know what I'm saying? In terms of life experience. But what people have to understand is when you look at somebody like Daniel Dubois, you have to ask yourself a question. What is he made up of? See, I don't judge fighters because, oh, he's a U.S. fighter or he's a U.K. fighter. I picked Anthony Joshua to win against Andy Ruiz Jr. I didn't pick him to win because I'm a fan of Anthony Joshua. No, I don't really care too much about Anthony Joshua. But I felt he should have outboxed Andy Ruiz Jr. And what he did in the second fight, that's what should have been relative in the first fight. Should have won the damn first fight. So I picked him to win. I picked Anthony Yard to beat Sergey Kovalev. Isn't he from the UK? So again, I don't sit here and get caught up and mired into, oh, you know, I'm picking this guy or I'm picking that guy because he's a UK fighter or he's a US fighter. I don't get caught up in all of that. What I get caught up into is picking the best opponent who I feel should win the fight based on the intel and based on my research and study of what I've done. That's the way that I judge fights. So I don't know where people are pushing this narrative that you have to be on a side. When you're a natural born leader like he knows the sport, you don't pick a side, man. You're an independent contractor, a free agent, so to speak. So you don't pick sides. You kind of just operate in your own lane. So I operate in my own lane, man. I don't got time to be operating in this lane or operating in that lane. I don't got time for that. But that's what's going on in the boxing world, the boxing communities. Everybody wants to be divided. Everybody wants to be on the side. He knows the sport is not on nobody's side. He knows the sport is on only side that makes sense, and that's the He knows the sport side, which is the side of let's pick the fighter who looks like he's bringing something more to the table from a pugilistic standpoint. Let's pick the fighter that actually looks like he's going to win the fight. How about we do that? That's what I do. So when I said what I said in the last video with Daniel Dubois versus Anthony Joshua is a fighter that let the sport of boxing get to his head. Hence, this is how he's been promoted a long time ago to AJ Divo. AJ, a celestial being, because this is a guy who shakes your hand, and then immediately after he shakes your hand, he goes and wipes his hands off with hand sanitizer. This is the cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat truths. So the truth of the fact of the matter is he knows his sport because he's the ultimate truth teller, and because he operates in truth-telling fashion, he has no choice but to render the truth. Daniel Dubois is not like that. He's still raw. He's still young, and he's still basically out there to try to figure out his fighter DNA in terms of the fighter that he is. Now, he has a potential to let this get to his head and become another AJ. If that does become the case, then yes, I will reject him. I will denounce him. But I'm not doing that right now, because what I see from me in front of my eyes is a fighter that's trying to get better with each and every fight. Frank Bruno is a savvy veteran. This is the guy he has in his corner. I thought that was a great move to bring somebody like that in to help him with his maturation process. And guess what? It's paid off what? Dividends. Let me say it again. It's paid off what? Dividends. So you give respect where respect is due. See, this is the stuff. He knows his sport is an authentic and a consistent cat. I don't got time to sit here and pick and choose sides, because it's the favorite side to pick and choose. If people are thinking about that in terms of Hino's Sport, then you got Hino's Sport all messed up, man. You done got me all effed up. Because what people have to understand is I pick the side that makes the most common sense. I pick the side that's stating the most obvious. This is how I've always operated in every pick. Win, lose, draw, whatever. I'm a man with confidence, purpose, and an abundance mindset. So I'm going to let my nuts hang. I'm going to make a pick. And I'm going to double down on that bad boy with confidence and fortitude. Daniel Dubois is a guy that you have to look at. I've always talked in high respect to this guy. If you heard me mention when they keep talking about this Alexander Usyk, this hype job, to me, he's a hype job. He's a great white hope. I don't put no trust in his stock. He's just as much of a great white hope as a Vasily Lomachenko. That's how I look at him. A big-ass Vasily Lomachenko. But the guys that I've always mentioned in the heavyweight division that you need to pay attention to is Ife Ajagba and Daniel Dubois. I've had plenty of videos where I talked about this. You know why? Because these guys both have a right hand that when they hit you, they put full commitment behind that bad boy and they get you out of there. Now, I know that last video with Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua got a lot of people hot and bothered like grits. Because now that Anthony Joshua's won, all of these UK Brit, you know what I'm saying, YouTube platform channels have reenacted again. They disappeared off of the face of the planet when he lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. Let me say it again. They disappeared off the face of the planet when he lost to Andy Ruiz Jr., who we know is what we call a super duper Buster Douglas 2.0, the Mexican style. Man, the Mexican community fan base, y'all been taking hits after hits after hits this year. But back to what I was talking about. I like this kid's energy. And as long as he keeps himself grounded, he don't get out of whack, and he doesn't get into this AJ Divo rarefied air, he should be good to go. So again, Daniel Dubois, you get the biggest salute of the damn day. As long as you keep your ass in line and you do what you got to do and you keep that same energy. Because at the end of the day, this guy's 21 years old and he's already wanting that free smoke from the Bronze Bomber. He already wants to fight Deontay Wilder. So something has to be said for that. Something has to be said for this guy wanting to go after Bronze Bomber, that Anthony Joshua, who should be the standard bearer in UK fighters, should be asking for that free smoke. So again, Hino's Sport is giving Daniel Dubois credit because at least he's saying, you know what, Anthony Joshua is not representing the UK fighter fan base the way that he should. So let's do away with his ass and let me be the one to step in line and do what I got to do. He gets credit for that. That tells me that he has a fighter's DNA in him, and that tells me he keeps that what? That same energy. Let me say it again. He keeps that what? That same energy. It's really that simple, folks. This is how I look at it from an X's and O's standpoint. It's not really complicated. And if anybody's looking at this more complicated than what it is, then you ain't got Hino's Sport. This is Hino's Sport. Checking out.